Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mimi, and today we are going to be doing knotless box braids. I'm going to do them in my oldest daughter's hair. Her name is Lee, and we're going to start with freshly washed hair. The first thing I like to do is divide her hair into 4 parts. You don't have to do this. Some people just like to start from the back of the head and work their way up. I always like to do box braids in sections. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to separate her hair into 4 sections and kind of put a rubber band or a little bun in the sections that I'm not going to start braiding with. So you can see me doing that now. You can use a rubber band or just wrap it around in a little knot and use a hairpin and clip it if you'd like. I also like to part with a rat tail comb, so you can see that also. The rat tail combs with the metal ends though. I don't really like the parting when I do the box braids with the plastic rat tail combs, only because I feel like the parts end up more accurate and you end up with a straighter part when you use the metal. But either or, whatever you prefer. Nothing has to be completely perfect. I'm not a professional, just self-taught. So, because I'm sure there's plenty of ways to do box braids, and I'm pretty sure there's plenty of videos, but this is just how I do it. I also like to make sure I don't use hair grease or anything, so I use a lot of coconut oil, any brand if you want. I also like to use Easy Edge Control. I'll list that down below. That's one of my favorites right now, and the fact that I can get a whole tube of it instead of the little round container that they like to put edge control in. This little tube of it cost me about $7 at the beauty supply store. I'm just rubbing her hair down. I also like to use this Jamaican Mango Lime Shea Butter Conditioning Shine. I think it makes the hair feel really, really soft and makes it more manageable. Also, it doesn't feel very heavy. It's very lightweight compared to, like, I don't know, hair grease or something like that. So I like to use a little bit of edge control right where you make the part, and then right on the nape of the neck where her hair is super curly. At this point, you'll see me dividing the hair, trying to make the size of the braid. So like usually when you're separating the hair, and the size of your box helps determine the size of the braid that you end up putting in the hair as far as the box braids go. So her box braids aren't going to be very big, maybe in between like a medium small. again, I grab my braiding hair. I'm going to separate it and put the natural hair right in the middle when I pinch it with my fingers. So there it is, right in the middle. That's the natural hair. Then I twist my hands, and as if you're starting a regular braid, you begin braiding, and you see her natural hair is right in the middle. And so as I braid down, I slowly add hair to the middle section, or the section with her natural hair. That way the braid will be even all the way down, and her natural hair will blend in with the weaving hair. So you just do that, and you continue braiding all the way down. And basically you'll repeat the process over and over and over. Because she knows how to braid very well also, I usually just toss the hair when I get to a certain point to the front to her, and then she braids the ends all the way down. That helps the process go a lot faster because she's not my only daughter, and I have 3 other heads besides my own to do. As you can see, we made it to the halfway mark. There's my little one. Hi. We made it to the halfway mark, and you can see that we've got a significant amount done and still have her head to go. Taking a little break because I was hungry, so you can be entertained by this little one that is jumping all over the place. Back. I finished braiding the rest of the braids in her hair, so her hair is completely done. At this point, I like to lay down her edges, so I'm using that same easy edge control for the very front. I don't always use a brush for the edges. I like to use that same thin comb with the metal tip. I feel like that also helps do a pretty decent job. So I am going ahead and laying her edges because I'm going to wrap her hair with one of those paper strips at the end to lay her hair down. So that way the front stays nice and neat. So you'll just see me kind of messing around. I use a little bit of got to be glued hairspray. I don't use a lot. I don't spray it across her head. I actually just spray a little bit on my fingertip and I dab it where I laid the edge control. This helps keep the edges laid longer and neater to me, and it doesn't flake up or anything like that. I haven't had any issues like that because some of these edge controls, they be real popular, and then I try to go try them and they are the worst, or they flake and they're nasty. And So I haven't had that issue so far with this particular one, but I do like to spray a little bit of the Got2b glue, spray on my fingertip, and just dab it where I've laid her edges at. And again, it helps leave them flat and leave them lasting a little longer and neater. So you can see I just finished, and I'm going to dab it with my finger, spray a little bit of that spray. Then I'll get one of these black paper strips and just wrap it right around the edges of her hair. I just wanted to show you the completed braids. They haven't been dipped or anything, and so that's what we're doing right now. So I'm going to give her a towel. Usually we do this in the bathroom or in the kitchen area, but for the sake of the video, we are doing it here. And I just put a towel around her neck because I don't want any water to drip on her. And you'll see me with my hot water. And you just go through the whole head and you dip all the braids into the hot water. And it relaxes the hair so it can kind of settle together, and the braids are looser and they lay flat and nice and neat. The only problem I had with this hair is when I dipped. Usually when you dip braiding hair, the ends end up they lock and they end up being straightened from the hot water, and this hair did the complete opposite. When I was braiding it, it was straight, but when I dipped it, it actually ended up being like a loose, wavy type of something. It made me nervous because I wasn't sure how it was going to dry. Like if it was going to be kind of matted or something, but it actually ended up working out pretty well. It just caught me off guard. I haven't used this hair before braiding box braids, but it was actually pretty nice. It didn't make my fingers feel rough or was hard to braid with, and it didn't tangle too much while I was doing the braids, so that's always a nice thing. And after this, you can use any mousse. It doesn't really matter, whichever mousse you have on hand. And basically, you'll want to rub the mousse all over the braids from the crown of the head all the way down to the very ends. I go all around her head and I just rub the mousse all over. Just work it from the top all the way down to the ends, all over the hair.